Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. We are so excited to have you again. The leader of IPOB has decided to fire back at the Northerners as he has a surprise package for them if the plan of Meitiala setting up a vigilante in Southeast work out. Check out what Nnamdi Kanu has to say. But before we do that, please, if you're not subscribed to our channel, kindly hit on the red subscribe button and also the bell icon so that you can get notification anytime we publish our video. According to the news, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, is presently enraged by the comment of the Meitiala Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria, MAGBAN, to extend its vigilante outfit to other parts of the country, warning that if implemented, will lead to a setting up of a counter-Igbo vigilante in the north by IPOB. Kanu, who reacted in a press statement he issued through the group's media and publicity secretary, Emma Powerful, said that he was not surprised to hear the comment by the leader of Meitiala, insisting that he has always emphasized on the secret agenda of the Fulani headsmen. According to Kanu, in his statement, he says this latest Belligerian development may have caught the rest of Nigeria by surprise, but not the IPOB, which has warned long ago that the Fulanis has since 2015 hatched a plot to violently conquer the whole of Nigeria and is in this wise being overtly and covertly emboldened by the Fulanized Islamized federal government of Nigeria. This latest move is merely a part of series of action geared to subjugating the Christian indigenous nationals of Nigeria that have stoically borne the brunt of the brutal terror that was unleashed by the Fulani since the coming of Buhari in 2015. This terror has largely affected the Christian minority in the north Nigeria, but with this latest development, the Fulani now wants to bring this terror fully to southern Nigeria through the subterfuge of a Fulani security outfit. Those were the words of Kanu, and I'm here with my colleague. We just want to look at this because what he has said seems impossible, but you know that when the IPOB members means to adhere to the instruction of their leader, they will go all out. And this time around, I don't know, would I call it a threat or telling us that if it happens that the Fulanis, that's the Meitiala, set up a security outfit, that he will instruct his people to also set up an Igbo vigilante in the north, and it will be taken care by IPOB. How real do you see this happening?
Well, when it comes to Nnamdi Kanu giving instructions to IPOB members, I have seen them go all out. Sometimes the task looks very impossible, but most times you see them doing it. I could still remember in Japan when the president went down to Japan and he instructed IPOB members to storm the place, the airport, and the place where the president was having his conference. To my amazement, IPOB marched out, but much as whether they got to the president or not is not relevant right now. What I took note was for the fact that they obeyed their leader and they came all out. Some of them flew all the way from Europe down to Japan just to make it happen. Now, I'm not saying that they will not obey their leader, but I'm looking at it as will I call it now a case of suicide mission? Permit me to use that word. Why I will say that, hear me out, guys. I will explain. If Fulani herdsmen finds their way to Southeast and they are brutally injuring some of the Igbo indigenes in their own home, and nothing is being done by the federal government, nobody has prescribed Fulani herdsmen. They've not caught any Fulani herdsman just yet over this issue. Even when they are caught, we don't know what happens behind the curtain. Now you're going down there, okay, to go and have a counter vigilante. Don't forget that's their home. Some things we do here in the south that we just shout, they won't shout. They will just find a way. That's their home. They know their terrain. They will find out who are these foreigners in their land that is doing this. If they can take this to your home, they will eradicate IPOB in their home. Now, in this case, you will see the whole security network will be so quiet about it. I will not say, rather than asking for a counter vigilante in the north, what are you really protecting? Are you protecting the northerners? Why not bring those ones that they are going to do as counter to the north down to the south to protect, to add more security to your people? Rather than doing that, you are reducing the manpower that is not even so much as it is right now, because they have all the ammunition, they have all the weaponry. I'm not saying IPOB don't have, but just that they are not permitted to use. Okay, because he hasn't given that instruction. And besides, they have been, they are now a member of UNPO. So which means they got to be very careful the utterances, their activities, okay? Because one of the cardinal rules of MPO is for them to be peaceful in all their dealings. Now, if you are beginning to show counter peaceful activities, it clearly shows that you're not adhering to the rules of UNPO.
Okay. All right. Now, looking at, I think the perspective he's coming from is the fact that if these guys are coming here to do whatever they're going to do, we are going to also create a kind of vigilante which will be working with their own people over their side. Because let's be very truthful here, the fact remains that when we are talking about the north, that's the northern part of Nigeria, we have a lot of Igbos there, you understand? So I am looking at him trying to set up a counter vigilante that will be protecting the Igbos there, just to prove to them that we can also come down to your hometown and defend our own people and make sure that you don't invade, to do any harm to our own people. We want to show you that, hey, if it happens that we have to protect ourselves, we can also protect ourselves, even in the northern part of Nigeria.
I beg to disagree, I have my reasons. The truth is, while he's saying this on a plain note, this is not a plain note. Let's be real. How many Fulani herdsmen have been caught thus far? None. Now, the same security that is in the north is also in the south. Now, if the south they're already doing what they're doing in the south and none has been caught in the south and we have security, that means that technically, they're working synonymous, hand in hand, technically hand in hand with the security. Now, you're not going down to the south, to the north. If they report to the north, if they report the new vigilante, anti-vigilante, the new vigilante group formed now by IPOB in the north. Remember that by the time they get to hear this, the original security outfit now, original security men, agency, police, and the rest will begin to fish out who are these people that are trying to do this.
Because number one, Nigerian government has prescribed
them. Do you understand? One, they're already prescribed, so they have full force, full legal force now to push hard and do whatever they need to do. And of which already by default, by the arrangement that is already on ground, the Fulani herdsmen already have upper hand. So rather than going to a terrain that you're not familiar with, stay back in a terrain that you're familiar with. I beg to disagree with Nnamdi Kanu on this one. He may not agree with me, but instead of doing that, to me, you're shooting yourself in the leg. Go back home, protect your people much more. If you have more people that you want to send down there, bring them home and fortify your security. It's now obvious now that they're now forming a national security. So you need all the hands you can get to protect your home.
But now looking at those who are over there, who are also suffering in the hands of these Fulani herdsmen. They are traders and they are doing business over there. How would they be protected? Because what I'm looking at here, he's taking into consideration the interest of the northerners also. That's the northern Igbos. That's the Igbos who are there in the northern part of Nigeria. They are suffering a lot of losses in their businesses. Some of them, their families have been destroyed and all of that. But they still believe that, hey, we still have a stake here. Since we are still one Nigeria for now, we still have to stay back and do what we are doing. We are permitted to travel to any part. But he is trying to show Nigerians that, hey, I have the interests of my people at heart. So he's trying to think of building a formidable vigilante, which I believe at one point that they may not present themselves as IPOBians, that's as IPOB members, because of the fact that IPOB is, IPOB is prescribed. They would not want to present themselves that way. Instead, they will come as a contribution, a concerned group of Southeasterners in the north who also want to work alongside with the Fulanis to protecting their own people.
Typical example. See what is happening in southern Kaduna. What has happened? What has changed? When the youth decided to defend their land, what happened? they started picking them up
Oh,
for
yeah.
defending their land. The good book says, love your neighbor as you love thyself. It didn't say love your neighbor more than you love thyself. If the north is not favorable for the Igbos, for the Southerners, go back home and start afresh. You can lose properties, very painful, too bad. We don't wish you to lose property, but if that's how it is now, we are so sorry. But it's best to lose property than to lose life.
Okay.
When you lose your property, give it, depending on how fast you are with God on your side, you can regain back those property with time. But when you lose your life, you don't regain it back. So why not count your losses? If you need to sell whatever you need to sell, come back home. If the security, you have looked at the security is no longer favorable, you go back home. Because if you say you want to form that way, the truth of the matter is what is happening in Southern Kaduna is showing that how helpless they are.
The
It's so
Southerners are.
obvious how helpless they are. Now, you now want to go and form a formidable team there. I don't know how it goes to play out, but for me, I don't see it as a wise decision. That's my personal opinion, though.
Okay. All right. That's where we're going to leave it. A lot of response from different quarters in respect. Some are for and some are against. Some believe that we should concentrate, that's the IPOB members should concentrate more on their territory. That's their expected territories, down here in the south, that they should forget about the north. And some believe that those out there still have life in them and they should be protected. Their property should be protected. Please go to our comment section. Please, no hate words. We're just trying to open up, that's throw up opinions here. What do you think is going to be the case like if this should happen? Do you think that the IPOBians will accept to go there and form a formidable vigilante group, or they will this time around decline the request of their leader? Please, let's interact in our comment section. Thank you very much and stay tuned. Don't forget that Jesus loves you.